The following podcast may contain humans, mutants, Eternals, and shirtless Australians. Viewer discretion is advised. I was piloting Black Ops missions in the jungles of North Vietnam while you were sucking on your mama's tit at Woodstock.
Four guys and a movie. Four guys and a movie. Donnie, Brian, Rob, and Joe reviewing movies for the show. Four guys and a movie.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Four Guys and a Movie podcast. The podcast where friends get together and talk about
Drink Mike's Hard Lemonade.
How Will's been sucking on tits at Woodstock or something. I'm not sure. Yeah, we're sipping on Mike's Hard Lemonade and we're watching mutants fight for their rights to party? ? We watched X2, X-Men United, from the year of our Lord 2003. Thank you guys for that dual the assist. Yeah, the assist. Well, what's your history with this movie? What was your impression of it before today?
Similar to the Raimi Spider-Mans and the previous Bryan Singer X-Men, I saw these in theaters with my dad because he was a sad divorced dad and thought taking me to superhero movies would help buy my love.
Did it work?
It's complicated.
So in case you're listening, Will's dad.
Do better.
You need to work a little harder. Yeah. Get good, son.
This is always, I think, been considered, one of the pre-MCU decent Marvel movies. And that's kind of what I've thought about it. Yeah.
And I'm Tony.
Oh, yeah.
Tony's here.
Tony's here. Will's here. I'm Rob, your host this time.
You call me Bob?
What?
Did you call me Blob?
No.
From X-Men.
Yeah, no, I get
Okay.
it. My heart hurts.
Wow.
Listen, we've only done 204 episodes, okay?
Joe and Brian aren't here, and we're already off the rails.
That's right.
Hardcore.
The grown-ups are not here today. So the kids are just running the roost. Tony, you're here.
Yeah.
People know who you are now.
Yeah.
What's your history with X2, and what was your impression of it before today?
I definitely saw this movie before, saw it in theaters, I believe with you and our fellow dorks. I'm pretty sure Joe and Brian were involved at this point.
Was your van involved?
Very possibly. I know it was definitely involved in the first one. I would imagine the second one as well, but that, that's kind of a coin toss at that point. But yeah, I liked it a lot. At the time, I think it was safe to say probably one of the best comic movies ever made.
Okay. I think my history is the same as yours.
Pretty sure.
Unless I was not here. I know I wasn't here for Spider-Man, one of the Spider-Mans.
Alright.
But either way, it doesn't matter. But yeah, and my impression of it is pretty much the same. I enjoyed it.
What year were you?
I don't remember. I'm trying to
What?
remember.
Is this when Rob went to jail for getting out of his car?
Rob was sent into the Scarred Lands.
It might have been 04 that I was gone, but
Out
yeah,
out west.
out
Past you.
Fievel.
Out the
It's
pasture.
just me and Fievel hanging out, hanging brain, hanging 10. So do we have?
This is not the time to be talking about hanging brain with a
With Bryan
5-year-old. Yeah.
Wait, 5-year-old?
5, I don't know what his age is, but it's young.
Listen, time works different for mice. Okay.
Yeah, he's like a middle-aged.
They're rodents. Yeah,
Not different enough.
They only live 2 years to begin with.
Not different enough.
So 5 years old for him. If he was 5 years old in mouse years,
Listen.
that's probably like 300 years old.
I don't want to hear your Jeffrey Jones defense here, all right? It didn't work for him. It's not going to work for you.
Listen, Kevin Spacey was framed.
Oh, God.
Guys, what's the history of X2 X-Men United?
So in the title scene, it never said X-Men United, did it?
No,
it just
it
said
didn't.
X2.
It just-
Yes, it
yeah,
is.
it was
Funny.
Untold Truth.
Oh, so yeah, this was directed by Bryan Singer, as we already alluded to. The embattled Bryan Singer, who sadly brought us The Usual Suspects, At Pupil, First X-Men.
Why is it sad that he brought us those? I thought those were liked movies.
No, but that's the thing. They're liked movies. He is not a liked director.
Have
now.
you seen directors? They're like, by and large,
I get it.
scumbags.
I get it.
Most people in Hollywood are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much everyone's a demon, apparently. But
Except
Patrick
Mr.
Stewart.
Mr. Spielberg. You have our deepest respect.
for now.
The four guys in a movie podcast supports you wholeheartedly.
He did produce his Transformer movies.
He produced them.
What did he do?
Still, he produced the Transformer movies.
He directed Jurassic Park
He did.
and Jaws
Yeah.
and the good Indiana Jones movies, right?
And the bad one.
And the 5th one coming out.
Or no, he didn't direct. Anyway,
It doesn't matter.
um,
He's earned a lot of cred that can help ease the pain of.
He should do the next X-Men
He should do the next
in the
X-Men.
MCU.
It'd
anyway.
be like that would actually imagine if he did like the Magneto solo movie.
Do
I-
pretty good.
It would just be Schindler's List.
Yeah, but like with
mutants.
powers.
All right, back to the.
I think we got that already. If you cut out like the first 5 minutes of every X-Men movie. But anyway, so a little background on this movie. Apparently, Halle Berry had to drop out of another movie to do this. That
Oh,
movie
no.
being Geely.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Yeah,
for
so
her.
good move for her. When casting Nightcrawler, there's mixing reports, but apparently Alan Cumming was like the main focus for who they wanted, but he couldn't do it at one point, so they started auditioning others, and they got Neil Patrick Harris.
Yep.
And I guess at one point it went to Ethan Embry.
I don't know who that is.
I know. Those of you who know Hackers, he's the lead in Hackers. I believe he's now Sherlock on Sherlock or whatever.
I thought Benedict Cumberbatch was Sherlock.
In the good one. I'm talking the American
Like
version.
Elementary?
Or Elementary. That's
Okay,
the one.
now I know who you're talking about.
What?
Anyway.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't say
I
the
need,
good one. I haven't
hand me
seen.
one of those. Give me that donut, William.
Apparently, others really wanted to get in on
I
this
need some
project,
cream in my
including one Shaquille O'Neal.
Yes.
Oh, sweet.
Yes.
You could have been Colossus
Could have been
or Juggernaut, bitch.
the Juggernaut.
People that did get in this movie, however, we had David Kane. I believe that's how you say his name. The voice of Megatron at Beast Wars.
David K.
K is K.
Where was he in this movie?
He was just the voice on the news product when they're talking to like Hank McCoy and stuff.
Oh.
But the White House tour guide that you were kind of joking about, that is actually the voice of Jubilee from the 90s cartoon. So.
Oh, okay. Well, that would explain why she sounded like a 6-year-old.
Yep.
All right, cool. Good for you, Jubilee voice actor.
The Weapon X flashback scene where Wolverine has to run naked down a hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, when they filmed that, they decided to play a little prank on him, and at one point when he ran to the end of the hallway, he was greeted by all the female members of the cast and James Marsden's mom. They were hooting and hollering and throwing
He
dollar
didn't
bills at him.
mind.
Probably not.
Now,
Damn you, Jackman.
was he actually naked for that scene? Because it looked like he had just...
Some tidy, like, skivvies on.
Yeah.
I don't know. From what the story is told, it sounds like he was naked, but he might have had something on. Maybe just had like a cock sock, or maybe they took it out later. Especially because
Seems a little old for Singer.
We also watched it on Disney, which has eliminated a girl's butt because we can't show it. So who knows?
You think they McClunkied his junk?
They might have clunkied it.
Majunkied it.
Yeah.
McClunked is
He might have got Banyunkied. But also, apparently, if you believe this,
I haven't got
Hugh
McClunkied
Jackman's
in a
sister
while.
visited the set at one point,
Yes.
got in full Wolverine makeup, and walked around and even fooled a bunch of people into thinking it was Hugh Jackman for a moment.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't know how that's possible, but hey,
Those Aussie gals.
I guess. But the bigger thing is,
I'm a huge jacked man.
there is like 90% of movie that was cut out at one point or another from this.
Oh, wow.
We were going to have a danger room scene. We were going to have Sentinels. but it was going to cost like another $7 million. So they dropped all that. We also were going to have full-on Beast and Archangel and so on.
Well, they had to change it already because in the script it was listed as the changing room, and they were like, "No, it's supposed to be the danger room, Brian."
To me, it's the same thing. So anyway, do you guys want to guess at what the movie had for a budget?
Let's say $80 million. I feel like that's low, but
Yeah, I was gonna say 120.
yeah, because it already came out. It's a sequel. I'm gonna stick with 80 just to be safe.
Yeah, that's a good idea. It was 110.
Okay.
Oh, that's
So
close.
close, but over.
Yeah.
Want to guess how much it made?
350.
320.
It was 407.
Okay.
Nice.
This is a big thing. This is a big deal.
Really big.
Really huge.
I believe Wizard Magazine's number one.
Oh man! Damn.
Yeah. Exciting times. All right, so
Rob's got his face full of
My mouth is full of
donuts.
this movie had Patrick Stewart as Professor X,
Mm-hmm.
Ian McKellen as Magneto, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, Halle Berry as Aurora Monroe,
As a
Storm.
Storm herself.
Famke Janssen as Jean Grey, Anna Paquin as Rogue, and
It had a bunch of
Brian
X-Men
Cox.
characters. Brian Cox, yes.
James Marston.
John Marston.
Yeah, James Marston, I think, was in there somewhere.
I
at
would
some
argue that Rebecca Romaine was probably more
Oh,
of a had more screen time than a lot of those people.
point. That's true. I was mostly doing that off memory, though,
Just in
so I
order.
just,
Yeah, I know.
what I could remember. off the
There
top
are a
of my
bunch
head.
of actors in this.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
that guy
Wait.
plays Iceman.
It is Iceman, Pyro, and a bunch of others. But that is also the other reason that like scripts got rewritten and so on, is because somebody was like, "That's too many people," which I kind of agree with.
Yeah.
Well, it's supposed to be the X-Men United.
Yeah, it is.
There's only so much you can do in two
2
hours,
and
15.
14 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only so much.
Well, but then eventually you put out the 4-hour cut.
Yeah.
That explains them all.
Now, they probably could have taken some of that budget away from that goofy ass intro, but nah. We really need to CGI 3 solid minutes of just floating around.
Jeans.
Jeans.
Yeah, little known fact: Rogue's real name, Martha.
I think it's Marie.
What are you talking about? Was that a DC EU joke?
Yeah, it was.
When Magneto's choking her, and she's like, Martha. It's like, what?
Like, I just felt like saying my own name for some reason.
This is my dead grandmother's name.
Oh boy.
So we start out with the crappy CGI. It's jeans and spider webs and
Yeah, it is.
I don't even
Patrick
know.
Stewart talking about mutants.
Yeah, it's just like this and Daredevil and all the Spider-Man films. They have the same exact intro, and they just like they change the color palette, and now it's webs. Now it's mutant jeans.
Now it's a blind guy.
Now it's blind vision.
We close the door to Cerebro, which opens again to reveal the White House.
Yeah, so you get kind of a cool sequence.
Oh yeah.
This is actually probably one of 2 really good sequences in the film.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in the White House and the president's in the Oval Office, and like there's tour groups and stuff going through, and you just hear the little poops or bamf,
Bamf, yeah.
the classic
That's a band.
classic sound, and it's Nightcrawler, and I think it's Alan.
Yeah.
Coming
Alan
does.
Cumming.
Wait, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
What do you think it's? I keep wanting to say Alan Tudyk.
No, I keep wanting to say Tim for some reason, but
Tim
I
Cumming?
think I'm mixing like Jim Cumming, like the voice of Winnie the Pooh.
Yes, that sounds like what you would do.
Oh bother. Bamf.
Oh bother! I'm also Darkwing Duck. I'm also like 90% of everybody now. So Alan Cumming is.
Disney owned my soul long before it took yours.
Yeah.
I was raised in the shadows.
Yeah.
So he's bamfing all around the White House, and I gotta say, like, I think he did a good job. But maybe Doogie Howser would have been a like. So here's the thing, and it could just be the clothes that he's wearing. He looks like a little frumpy for like he's doing all these acrobatics, and he just just kind of looks like.
You wanted him to have like the red and black like V-shaped.
I just wanted to be like more skinny-ish looking.
Yeah.
And there's no fault of the actor or anything. I think it's just like, maybe it's just me, because I only know him from the comics and the cartoon.
Well, no, it is that thing where you have that certain vision in your head, but you have to realize it's hard to accomplish that in a live-action setting like this. Because it's kind of the problem I have with, like, when people do the stuff about, like, which Spider-Man's the best. It's like, well, this one has the better personality, but this one has, like, more of the physical looks that I would think. And, you bounce around. I mean, Tom Holland's doing great now. I'm not arguing that. But like, I think, actually, we had this conversation with Rhodey for the Iron Man movies. Like, I felt, what's his name in the first one?
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard looked more the part, but Don Cheadle
talked like
he
this.
did.
He was like, "I'm War Machine. I'm
Alright.
gonna shoot everybody up."
Yeah, but that doesn't matter when you put the voice box and throw the helmet on him. But anyway, but Don Cheadle's a better actor, so it's like,
Is Don
Same
Cheadle
thing-
a better actor?
Yes.
than Terrence Howard, yes.
Sorry.
Sorry, Terrence Howard.
I'm trying to think of what
Apparently
else
he's
I've seen.
also
either of
easy
them
to-
in.
Apparently Terrence Howard wasn't easy to like get along with. And
Well, he
Alright.
wanted as much money as
Yeah.
as RDJ was making
No,
for
no,
the
no, no,
sequel and all this.
But also keep in mind, neither of them have appeared in any Jurassic Park movies, so you probably haven't seen this.
True.
But
we're waiting for Dominion, I guess, to see.
Yeah, maybe
They'll
I'll
get
show
there
up in
eventually.
Or the Fast Furious Jurassic Park
we'll get
crossover.
into that later.
I can't wait personally. Only bring it on. Bring it on.
But the same
You
thing
can't
with
kill me.
the same thing with Edward Norton. That is what I would picture a lot better for Bruce Banner than Ruffalo. But I like Ruffalo, so I got no problem with it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
I get that. I get that.
Just because, again, Norton, I think also before that movie he lost weight or whatever, but like he had that scrawny, like,
Yeah.
you would not think I could fight you, but I turned into a giant monster that
Yeah.
would destroy everything. So,
That's fair. So
anyway.
He gets into the Oval Office.
yeah, he gets into the Oval Office, kicks everybody's butt. It's a really cool, like, well choreographed fight scene. And is he gonna kill the president? Because he's got the
I think that's the idea, yeah.
Mutant freedom now,
the
kind of.
orange crush spot on the back of his neck.
Yeah.
But we don't see that at first, right?
We don't see it at first.
No.
But like he doesn't kill anybody in the White House, as far as we know. He just throws them around.
Yeah.
And like disarms them.
Well, yeah, I think he was basically programmed to go kill the president.
Yeah, but what
And that's-
happens is he gets a president on his desk and decides
Lewinsky
to
style.
yeah, and just decides to fart right on his chest, and then stops to smell his own fart just long enough for a security, like a bodyguard to fire.
Well, the real thing was he had to wait and take out his knife that says mutant freedom.
He already had his knife out. It was in his hand. He was sniffing that gas cloud he had just released into the air.
The Banff.
He's like, this is going to stain your clothes for hours. And then yeah, pow, he gets shot in the arm and then has to bamf away. But yeah, so the knife lands on the desk, says mutant freedom now, and that leads us into other things. The movie starts. Is this the museum or is it Wolverine at?
I think it's
Alkali?
Wolverine walking around.
But nothing really happens. He's like trying to figure out his past.
It starts right before the first one ends, which I watched last week to like get in the mood. And he's like, had stolen Cyclops' motorcycle, and he's like, I'm gonna go find out my past.
And maybe it's because they had to pick up there, or they felt they had to pick up there.
Right.
But this does kind of annoy me because, like, okay, yeah, I had Xavier read your mind. He gave you, breadcrumbs to lead you where you need to go. You stole a motorcycle. You got out to Alkaline Lake. You walked in the door, saw it look like shit, and just turned around and left. You didn't even look the fuck around.
Or like your super senses didn't smell anything.
Yeah, nothing. Apparently, there's a huge base right under your goddamn feet, and you just walked away from the start of this movie.
Like with claw marks all over it. But apparently, he's like, oh, there's a wolf here. And the wolf like looks at him like, what you doing here, bro? And he's like,
No, I think even the wolf was like, It's right this way, guy.
Yeah, he's like,
Come check this out.
it's like,
It was the guy from Mortal Kombat, Nightwolf.
yes, it's Nightwolf.
Being like, come on, finish him.
It's like, come on.
He's in here.
Let's see
He's
some
like,
bad
"Hey,
CGI.
Wait, where are you going? Why are you leaving? There's more. If you just
Yes.
like 5 feet over this way, pal.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the
Come on.
set is like it's just like rubble. He looks like he's searching for Edward Scissorhands. And then that's pretty much that scene.
Yep.
Because then the wolf turns into a stuffed wolf, and we're at a museum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And it's just dumb. It's just a bunch of kids in a museum, whatever. And we get to see Bobby Flay and
Pyro.
and what's her face, roguelike. And they're just being douchebags, I guess.
Well,
Well, they're just being
Pyro
shitty
is-
teenagers.
They're letting Pyro be a douchebag and not interfering. Like,
These two normies are trying to get a light.
yeah,
which
it's-
also I don't like. Were they
Smoking
gonna
in-
smoke in the
yeah,
museum?
there's no smoking in a museum. First
and
of all,
you're like 12.
also,
Or, well,
why is there a cafeteria like in the middle of the museum?
I don't know.
It looks like a mall. It looks like
Yeah.
a mall cafeteria.
Yeah.
That they just threw some dinosaur bones in real quick. Or like,
But,
I mean,
mean,
it's a museum now.
Yeah, this might very well be a real museum. So
No,
I
I don't think
know,
Bryan Singer's ever been in a real museum. That's the problem that I foresee. It's kind of
but...
like,
oh, he's been in some museum.
what the hell does that mean? Children's museums is that what you're implying?
Yeah.
Jeez.
The history of play.
Jeez. Tony, Sesame Place is not a museum. Anyway, so
In my hometown, it was called Hickory Dickory Dock.
yeah, in your hometown it was McDonald's.
It
Anyway,
was next to McDonald's.
and Brian Cox was there signing autographs. So, what the hell was I talking about?
I don't know.
Anyway,
Museums.
Pyro's just
Yeah.
being a dick, and he's showing off his mutant powers, which
He can't create
are
fire.
not
He
great.
can manipulate it.
And Tony mentioned it earlier. Like the powers, they're as impressive as the fire powers in Shyamalan's Last Airbender movie. They're about on par, I would say.
So that mean they can throw like a fireball like 10 feet away?
Yeah, that's pretty much what he was doing.
He's doing better stuff, honestly, because
Slightly better stuff.
I mean, it's harder to judge on the Fire Nation because I don't remember them doing a whole lot. But
You're
I knew
thinking
it,
of the Earth.
yeah, it took like
Earthbenders?
12 Earth guys to lift a
Yeah,
rock.
We don't.
So-
We don't talk about that in civilized.
Oh yeah.
Society.
Anyway,
So yeah, but he's just being kind of a dick. So they're kind of setting up that he's got a little bit of
Evil Hood brother mutant.
young, dumb, and full of
Brotherhood of Evil Mutant
situation
vibes.
going- Yeah, where I
it's
guess
quick to violence.
yeah. So they start a kerfuffle. Is the only way I can explain it with these two youths. And all of a sudden, time just stops. Charles Xavier is like, "Hey,
Got it.
Quit that shit out.
I'm the most powerful MFer in here."
I got it like that. What?
I stopped everybody. I could just kill them with my mind right now. I could kill you. Put the lighter down, son. Stop being a bitch. Pick up your dick and come with me.
And then they see the thing on the news about the White House attack.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we need to do something.
Yeah, we need to. There's mutants attack the White House, and this dick just outed us. We better go.
Right.
So now there's a meeting at the White House. The president has called in Kentucky Fried Striker to figure out the mutant problem.
Sort of. Basically, he's like, I want your funding or whatever so I can get a military group to take these bastards out.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, chill for a second. I'm also bringing in Senator Kelly, who's like, we could be friends.
Yeah. Who has done a complete turnaround from the last movie. Some reason. Off-screen reason. It's on-screen reason. But they...
Well, he turns into a blob water
Right,
launcher
but,
and
like,
melts.
the people at large don't know. I'm saying the president doesn't know that. And he's just like, oh, this guy hated mutants. And, like,
It's like, imagine if, like, tomorrow Ted Cruz was like, you know what, immigrants are good.
yeah. Like,
Well, we already suspect he might be an alien, so, I mean...
Yeah. The
whatever.
Zodiac Killer.
Well, that's for sure.
guys, I think it's time to refund the wall. And give everybody Taco Bell gift cards.
I was talking to Rob before we started watching the movie, and I've been reading a lot of X-Men comics lately, and one of the ones I read was the God Loves, Man Kills, which is sort of what this movie is loosely based on, and something different in that I think is a little cooler, or at least for me, a little more interesting is Stryker's like an evangelical pastor, and not like he's like a former military guy, but that's not his.
And it really would have played well on screen, I think.
Well, it'd be tough. They could do it. It'd just be very different.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's complicated, but yeah, Stryker was a evangelical pastor, and then Trask was the military guy, and they basically just crammed those characters together to try and make the whole story fit, and again, cut out, having 50 fucking characters show up.
Yeah,
but
I just thought it was cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's, it's a cool storyline for the comics, but,
So how was Stryker doctrinally?
He's hated the mutants. Every Bible verse he quoted was definitely one about, like, if you sin, you're going to get stoned by stones. literally a quote.
Like, one of those guys that just takes one verse without the verse before it or after it. And it's no, this is what I'm talking about right here.
Honestly, just take any reverend you see that says whatever gay people are bad and take out gay and put in mutant. That's him.
All those reverends.
They're out there.
There's a lot.
Don't act like they're not out there.
I know. I just don't hang around them.
There's a funny like meme that was going around in 2016 that said like Mike Pence is basically a like a comic villain, and it was the panel of William Stryker because they both have like bright white hair, and he's like, "Look at that thing! It's not even human," and it's pointing at Nightcrawler, and it's like because Pence is such a big like anti-gay person.
He hates blue people. I know.
So, all right, back to
Why
that
is
movie.
trying to take down Angie in Disney World?
I mean, honestly, I'm on his side.
What, Pandora?
Yeah.
Or Pandora.
Some of the rides are cool.
Yeah, but like, just turn it into Wakanda. Come on.
Ooh.
Yeah, but then you don't have flying dinosaurs.
Sure you do. Just make something up. It doesn't matter. You know what? Change it from a dinosaur into one of those like bug ships they have or whatever.
Turn it into Spider-Man.
This movie.
Yeah, this movie. Oh, what was it? Avengers Campus is open now?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I haven't watched the opening thing, but supposedly.
It's in Disneyland.
Maybe.
California Adventure.
I don't know. I'm not ready to travel. Anyway,
Let's get through this hellscape before we worry about that.
Yeah, see, I don't even know what my notes mean.
So, yeah.
Stryker and Kelly.
Whatever we realize, which I think is also important to note, though, we meet Lady Deathstrike, his little assistant, who shakes hands with the senator.
Yeah, she likes cracking her knuckles because that's cool, I guess.
Yeah, just to let you know, like
Break up the adamantium.
She's gonna be Lady Deathstrike later. Don't you worry.
Yeah, we get it. It's hear that cracking? That's the crackle of things to come.
I just wanted to mention that part because I thought it was cool. This is the first time I really thought about it, that when Senator Kelly, of course, is actually Mystique in disguise, but later on when she forms into Lady Deathstrike to sneak into the building, she's a handprint. And I was like, how did she manage to get it? And then I realized, oh, she shook hands. She might have actually been able to identify
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's cool.
That is a good question.
Remembers.
Clever girl.
And then Wolverine comes home.
Oh, and he like immediately cock blocks Iceman.
Oh yeah, he's like,
because everyone like every female in the whole X mansion is like
it's his property.
It's like, well, he seems kind of like indifferent, but they're all like, oh, Wolverine.
So here's
well,
the
to
deal.
the little women.
Here's the deal. Bobby wants to get with Rogue. Rogue wants to get with Logan. Logan wants to get with Jean Grey. Jean Grey wants to get with Cyclops, and Cyclops is just a mop in a bucket somewhere. Like
Cyclops wants to get with Iceman and Rogue.
No, Cyclops wants to get some screen time.
Yeah,
That's what Cyclops wants.
Yeah, that's like they do Cyclops dirty in these three movies.
He wants to not be cucked in one movie. He's in.
Because he's a pretty like I said, I've been reading the comics, and he's like an interesting character in these movies. You would think he's like not the fucking leader of the X.
Right, like he's just a side character.
It's like they put him in there because they had to.
Yeah,
it's what they
basically.
It seems what they're.
That's one of the things I also noticed with all this is like it seemed like in some of the scripts they had, Cyclops had a bigger part, and then it just keeps getting cut down until it's like, yeah, fuck that guy. So I don't know who
he's here also.
That is, but
yeah,
it's
he's
like
here
we need
also,
to put Cyclops in there. But
and also like pretty much every besides maybe Wolverine, every mutant's power is really like nerfed in the movies. Because like Jean Grey's fucking powerful as hell, Storm's powerful as hell. Cyclops is he could kill anybody. He could kill anybody he wanted to with his blast. but-
Except Wolverine,
Well,
who could literally
well,
withstand a nuclear warhead.
I'm talking about
Point
Villain.
blank,
Let's
apparently.
not. Please, let's not. But that's also the problem of
superhero
PG.
movie. Yeah, that's true.
Or I'm sorry, PG-13, but still.
It's like they do that with the Hulk and all the Avengers movies. They have to figure out a way to like make him not as powerful.
Right, because otherwise, like this is what they ran into with Justice League. Hey, it's 4 hours long. It's still pointless. All you needed was Superman.
What? No, we're getting off track. No, with the Hulk, we need to tone down his power because otherwise he'd just defeat everything and win. In this, it's more we can't let them go full force because, like, he wouldn't be shooting guards up against the wall to knock them out. He'd be
Obliterating
ripping them
them.
in half.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
But also, whenever Wolverine's on screen, all the other characters should be saying, "Where's Wolverine?" Or it'd be cool.
when he's not on screen.
Yeah.
It'd be weird if he was whenever he's on screen. They're like, "Where's Wolverine? Where is he?" I don't know.
It'd be cool if Wolverine was here.
That is also the other problem of everybody's Wolverine boner. We got to
Yeah.
deal with that.
Yeah, it's, so whatever. So now we're back with Magneto.
In his
And his-
plastic prison
his
of
weird
doom.
Plastic hole. And Stryker comes in and like beats him up a
We
little
see
bit.
some elder abuse.
Yeah, you see some elder abuse and
That's what's happening to everybody's grandparents. And
pretty much, yeah.
oh, wouldn't it have been funny if that guard had been Ben Stiller
I was thinking that when we were watching this.
from Happy Gilmore, where he's like, "You could trouble me for a warm glass of shut the hell up. Welcome to my world. Welcome to my world, Magneto.
Wow.
You're in my world now, Eric."
But here we see that like Stryker is like dribbling like Orange Crush on the back of their necks or something, and leaving this little butthole impression in their necks.
It's like a cat butthole.
It's like a cat butthole. And I guess that controls them because
It's the secretion of the brain of Justin.
yeah,
Jason?
that
Jason.
makes-
Jason.
whatever.
Jason.
Whatever. It won't come up again, but
Yeah.
it does. I'm just
Yeah.
being a jerk.
Okay.
Yeah, but like, I guess that controls him somehow, or like placates him, turns him into a
Well, yeah, it
Winter
makes,
Soldier of
It goes
sorts.
into their brain stem.
yeah, you'll do whatever they tell you to do. So I'm guessing he just dropped that on his neck and was like, "Hey, tell me about Cerebro."
Yeah. So then
Basically, gave him acid.
to Cerebro.
It's like waterboarding, but for mutants.
So now our new thing is Cerebro. Patrick Stewart's in there, and he's like, "I've found every mutant in the world with my brain powers." And while I think comic book Professor X could probably do that, probably
With Cerebro, or Cerebro at least, yeah.
could he kill all of them?
Potentially. Like, I mean,
Maybe if they fiddled with Cerebro enough to turn it into that,
well,
maybe
you're for
get,
one, we're talking
get Forge in there.
we're talking like how many years of comics now, what continuity, what story, but potentially that could happen. I think it is a thing where if he focuses on somebody and he tries to kill them, I'm sure he could. I don't know if he could do it on a mass scale all at once, but he could, start picking everybody off one by one.
Alright, well, that's the MacGuffin of this movie anyway.
Yeah.
So Logan's like, "Hey, I need you to read my mind or whatever, find out what I'm doing." And I'm like, "Please don't. I've already seen X-Men Origins. I don't need to relive this crap."
Yeah, like trust me, you want to forget this. I've seen into your mind, Logan. You have crappy cartoon claws in there. Let's not go that way.
You start out with bone claws, and then they get covered with metal, and now they're metal claws, but they aren't thick like your bone claws were, but you have healing power, so you'd think the bone claws wouldn't allow
Plus-
to not grow back over
Plus,
the...
if I remind you, I'm pretty sure Deadpool will show up and kill me.
Yes, Ryan Reynolds is there for some reason, but he was already in one
Getting
of the
pegged.
Blade movies.
Getting pegged by his girlfriend.
Yes.
No, in this version, he's getting pegged by Will.i.am.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, god damn that
And
movie.
of course, Gambit's there for reasons.
He was another one that was supposed to be in this.
And your brother's there, and they do those things that we
All right,
did in the
this-
beginning of this movie, where they do really dumb, bouncy running of people when they're trying to run like,
Pounce,
animals.
like
but
Pounce.
they just look like Tigger, and it's really stupid.
He has long fingernails.
he's just got Lee press on nails, and he runs around, and you spend half the movie just waving your dick around, and then
No,
you
X2,
chop the blades off
yeah.
a helicopter.
Yeah.
You caused Chernobyl or something.
Oh God! So did Magneto help Xavier build Cerebro?
Yes.
Okay.
They used to be friends.
He did all the
I know,
metal.
it used to be
He did all the
friends.
metal work.
I've got friends. I don't tell them how I build things.
Yeah, you do. You have a YouTube channel.
That's shut up.
Got your ass.
Give me a cookie.
You didn't want the cat food filled donut?
But yeah,
I might have another one, but I want to go. with
I
cookie.
forget. I forget if it was more of a he helped him build it, I think was the deal. But he at the very least helped him design it.
Okay. Well, because that explains. Because in the all right. So after this scene, we kind of cut to Stryker's office, where Mystique sneaks in. And
Sneaks.
yeah, Mystique sneaks in. You right there?
Keep going.
All right, and she's like, she steals off of his Dell there. She prints. Okay, first of all,
What?
thumb drives existed, right?
In 03? Yeah.
Like, even
I
if
remember using one first in 5th grade, which is 2001.
right, even if she went in there with like a zip disk or something, that would have been better than she went in and.
Printed everything.
All right, if you guys hear crazy noises, it's because Tony's adjusting his microphone. I know he told me to just keep going, but I also know that touching the microphone causes a lot of feedback. But anyway, so she just goes and prints like
50 pages.
70 pages of full color images.
Yeah, that's a bit.
She gets halfway through and it's like out of
Change out
toner.
the ink, yeah.
At that point, just rip the tower out and take it with you.
But that's why I was curious, because there's like a folder on his computer that's like Cerebro, and it's like full diagram of Cerebro.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this dude didn't even know what kind of plane comes out from the ground, but he's got full plans for Cerebro.
Well, but, I mean, you could also argue he knows what kind of plane it is. He's just being a jerk about it and like, we don't know, it's some experimental plane. Even though he knows exactly what that
I
shit
it's
don't
a
know
black-
what kind of
black
plane
bird.
it is, so I only know it's full of mutants.
Yeah.
And their ilk.
They're dirty
And
ilk.
sympathizers.
But yeah, the idea is he's been talking to Magneto to get at least the basic layout of what the school is, how it works, how to get into Cerebro, how Cerebro works, and all that, so he could build his janky makeshift version of it.
Makes me think there'd be like it should be a funny scene of him like in the room talking to Magneto, and he's like, "Enough about the blue plate special at Applebee's. Tell me about Cerebro, old man."
I don't care that you get $1 off movie tickets.
Yes, I know Auschwitz.
Yes, Burger King is a wonderful restaurant.
I was just like, oh yes, I remember the day we came up with the design. Oh, we made out so hard, me and Charles.
Rubbing his bald head.
Just sitting out on a blanket on a nice open field.
And then Stryker's just like, ugh.
All right, now,
Drank some wine.
Eric. Eric, why do you keep getting these spam calls on your phone every 5 minutes? No, we don't want extra protection on our AARP card. I don't know why I got the giggles.
I don't know what's happening.
Just old people
Oh my
jokes.
God.
He's allowed to have a cell phone in there.
Where's Joe
It's
when
one,
you
of
need
those,
him?
it's one of those jitterbugs.
Yeah.
But it's all plastic.
It can call Stryker, it can call Domino's, and it can call
911, and that's it.
Yeah. He has one of those bracelets that's like, but it had to be made out of plastic.
Now you put down as your emergency contact Frodo Baggins. What is all this?
And it says here, emergency contact morph.
So your bank account has been drained because you had to send money to Bruno Mars to help him fund a concert. What the fuck?
You bought 10,000 in Walmart gift cards.
And sent them to Mexico?
For Christ's sake, sir, I do not want to wear this original. Stay on task.
All right.
Jesus.
I killed it. All right, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Basically, at this point, he's planning a strike on the mansion. He gets permission from the president. Xavier's like, I'm gonna go visit Magneto in jail with Cyclops.
conjugal visits.
Yeah, I'm gonna send the ladies off to find this mutant that can jump all over the place. We're just gonna leave the kids with, let's say Mom.
Hello, Eric. They don't allow metal in here, but they let me bring some lemons
Oh God. So
and Clorox wipes.
around here, he's talking to Magneto, and Magneto's like, dude, I couldn't help it. I told him everything. You're fucked. They get gassed.
And he's like, you should have killed me when you had the chance, Trust.
Speaking of, Will, God.
Did we catch that? Oh, I got that.
I'm sorry, I can't smell because of COVID.
Son of a bitch.
Like, honey, can you turn the fan on, please?
We're just burn this room down now that we're trapped inside.
She closed us in.
She hotboxed you.
I wish you'd given me COVID instead. So
Sorry.
It smells like a steak. Like a steak tastes. It's very meaty. It's very meaty. Meaty odor you put out. So they, like me, and they meaning gotta restart my brain here. So Jean Grey
Jean and Storm.
and Storm find themselves at a church. Where they pray for their sense of smell to be destroyed. Yeah, they find.
I think somebody bamfed in here. 'Cause
Yeah. All right, they find Nightcrawler.
certainly smelling the
he's,
sulfur.
he's hiding or whatever. And they're like, "Oh, he can teleport," but I mean, I guess not.
Right now?
Not when he falls. So like they they blast the rafters out from under him. He falls. He's like, "Oh, please,
Caught him off guard.
please don't kill." Okay, they caught him off guard. He's like, "Don't kill me," whatever. They're like, "No, you're our family now," or something.
Well, yeah, they just talked to him. They said we're just there to talk. They find he's got one of those cat buttholes on the back of his
It's
neck.
like, "Do you have time to talk about my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?" And they're like, "We'll come back later, bud."
Yeah, just put a pin in that.
Yeah, just hear the plane take off.
By the way, can I just take a moment to say how much I hate IMDb trivia?
Uh-oh.
I'm trying to research this movie.
Ruh-roh.
And, like, some of the postings are shit like, there's, in the comics, Nightcrawler has a deep Christian belief system or whatever, or he's Catholic or whatever. And it's alluded to in the movie as well. Like, alluded to? They fucking hit you over the head with that shit. Are you kidding me?
It's not even subtext.
Yeah, every 4 lines is about his religion.
Every time he gets off the X-Jet, he leaves chick tracks on all the seats.
Every time he vamps, he leaves one.
That would explain how the shit gets everywhere.
That's actually what he was leaving on the president's desk.
I know I am a devil, but do not play Dungeons and Dragons. It is evil.
It says, "Mutant freedom now," and then on the other side it says, "Do you want to know how the dinosaurs really died?"
John
Because you touch
3:16.
yourself at night.
Sin. Jeez. So yeah, so
It's been a fun episode.
so Xavier shows up and he's like, "Oh, who beat you? Who's been hitting you, pal?"
We already went over this.
Yeah, I know,
You got gassed.
but I wrote it down in the sort of order.
Okay.
All right, so now we get to the invasion of the mansion, which is the second probably best scene.
Oh,
in the movie,
yeah.
I would say.
It's pretty fun. Wish there was some more blood.
Yeah, until we get the R-rated Logan, which topped this because they could. This was like the best Wolverine action scene you're gonna get.
Yeah, because
Because the claws look good.
Yeah, the claws are good. He is killing folk. It's just bloodless killing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, so Will, do you want to talk briefly about your favorite character in the film?
Oh, channel changeo?
Yeah, Janelo Changelo.
Yeah, I believe his name is Clicker. Thank you.
Really?
Oh, that's
No.
just as stupid.
No, it's not actually.
Is it Blink or
No,
I'm gonna look it up.
Yes,
it
do
might
that.
be Arcade. Oh, yeah, I don't know if he's actually listed as something.
Yeah, so
But-
Logan can't sleep and he goes downstairs and there's just a kid that looks like Macaulay Culkin and My Girl changing channels by blinking really hard.
Ends the same way too.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of bees.
Yeah. Bunch of stingers to the neck.
And then Wolverine wants a little snacky snack, so he goes to the kitchen and Iceman's there eating some sort of frozen yogurt dessert. And Logan's looking for some beer, and he's like, haha, no, it's a school, silly.
Yeah.
So he gets a
Xavier
warm
keeps
ass.
all the beer to himself.
He gets a warm ass soda out of the cabinet.
Now, here's a question for you. It's a big ass mansion. That was a double wide fridge.
Mm-hmm.
You telling me they couldn't keep any cold soda in that giant ass refrigerator?
Yeah, it's bullshit.
It is bullshit. While you two are very intently
I-
Googling this
Trying to find this kid.
pointless character.
Like I told you before, though, Rob, they don't need that shit. They've got Iceman.
So it says his name in the movie is Jones.
That is Jones. Okay.
What does that mean? That's not an X-Man character.
It's not.
It's a cat from Alien.
It's a person's name, though.
No! Yeah, Jeffrey Jones.
That is not an X-Man.
He stays up all night blinking his eyes at a screen, too.
Damn.
Would it be cooler if I opened the door?
Yes.
I'm getting hot.
Would it be cool if I
Yeah, hold on.
threw your computer through the window to
Yes.
open it?
Talk amongst yourselves.
Alright, so, yeah. So, Clicker here, like, hears the noise and walks out and, like, what are you doing here? Hi. Dude's
Yeah.
like a guy in
He's
full
sweet.
military gear with, like, a face paint and everything, night vision goggles, and he just gets 4 darts in his neck and he's down.
Yeah.
And they just leave him there like a sack of shit.
It looks like the thing that Jango Fett shoots that changeling with in Attack of the Cones.
Oh, God.
The Camino dart.
And honestly, it would have been better if Clicker here fell to the ground and turned into a green, shitty CGI monster.
Oh, you alright? Is it lingering still? Wow, okay.
I'm impressed.
What did you, While Tony is legitimately
Alright.
dying in front of us. You want to tell us what you had for lunch, Will?
Had a hot dog and a chicken sandwich.
There you go.
Some onion rings.
There you go.
You couldn't taste it.
I mean, it didn't taste like a chicken sandwich. It did taste a little like a hot dog, though.
I was just thinking the same thing. Anyway,
So all these armed guys attack the mansion.
yeah. Which, again, not only do we get the cool Wolverine actually, like, doing stuff, because, like, again, it's not just about, like, I need to see him rip everybody's face off. It's the fact that he's really doing stuff and using his abilities. You got claws, but you, like, never actually cut anybody with them,
Right.
you know? But more than that, we get, you know, Colossus coming in like, you shoot me all you want, I'm metal, and I can punch through this wall. And you get Kitty Pryde running through walls and, you know, I think it's Siren screams and, busts a bunch of guys' ears and alerts everybody in the mansion and stuff. Like, people are actually using their abilities.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my god, that's right. This is an X-Men movie. We're watching the fucking X-Men do stuff.
Yeah. And so Colossus is getting all the kids to safety. He's leading them into what I refer to as the underage railroad.
Escaping Bryan Singer's gaze.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, it's they all just escape, I guess. Wolverine and Iceman and Pyro and Rogue. Sorry, I'm just trying to remember their names. Get into a car and then they take off separately.
Yeah.
Wolverine hotwires it with his middle finger claw.
Yes.
Which, this is... I mean, fuck, whatever. It's not worth the trouble, but yeah, this would not work.
So instead of just going to like a mall somewhere, they decide to go to Bobby Iceman's house, like his parents' house.
In Boston.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
He didn't know how shitty they were, it seems.
I mean, I guess.
Well, not just that, but like the mall thing, like, I don't know if they have money on them. They're mostly in their pajamas and stuff. Like,
Yeah, I guess.
Pyro could create a diversion. They could get some stuff from Hot Topic.
That's true. That's true. So yeah, they're
at Bobby's house. They're getting some clothes and whatever. So they're not just hanging out in their pajamas anymore. Bobby's parents come home from wherever they were. But
ice cream. They went out for ice cream.
sure.
They went to the mutant hate rally.
And they're like, why is there a hairy Australian man drinking beer in my kitchen?
And he's like, Foster's.
Foster's.
Filming a commercial, Mike. So yeah.
I'm like, no, we're his real parents.
Yeah, Bobby's...
Sorry. Wow. That was almost as bad as Will's part.
Wow. So they're like, what's going on? And they're like, these are my friends, Mom and Dad. I'm like, I'm a mutant and stuff. Let me show you what I can do. See this hot drink you're drinking? I can make it not hot anymore. And they're like, oh, so you can do the same thing that I could have done if I just left it on the table for a little while.
Put it in the freezer.
Yeah, but faster.
Well, it's basically a coming out scene, and
I guess.
that was clearly like the idea. Like it's akin to coming out to your parents, because somehow they didn't know, even though they're paying for him to go to this I'm sure very expensive private school. That's
you're paying for that shit. The
Oh,
parents are
for
paying
sure.
for that shit.
Oh, for sure.
Says Charles.
Is it Connecticut? I thought it was upstate New York.
Westchester.
I don't remember now. I thought it was Stanford. But regardless, it's not that far away, but it's, Anyway, the point is, apparently his little brother, just for seemingly no reason, throws a hissy fit and calls the cops. So now we have a whole scene where they're having a standoff because the police think they're holding everybody, hostage.
It's not really so much a standoff as a, hey, I'm going to tell you once to put your knives down and then I'm going to shoot you in the head.
That's how police do.
That's a little...
So, sadly, that's actually not as bad, well, in some regards, as the guy at the back door that goes, open the door, and then just busts in.
Breaks their glass door.
He could not have walked to the door the amount of time you gave him. At least with the knives, there's potentially a threat, although they do go into the guy, so, but whatever. But yeah, he freaks out, he shoots Wolverine in the head. He tells everybody else to get on the ground, which they all do, except Pyro, who's like, fuck this, and I'm just gonna burn you all.
Which is silly, because in the time it took him to get his little fireball going...
Oh yeah, the other cops would have shot him.
Yeah, he would have been, shot 50 times.
Although, well, the trigger-happy cop was the first one to get it, so maybe the others just have restraint.
Maybe.
I don't know. Although that would have been a good reason to actually open fire, which they didn't. Whatever.
So, yeah, I guess... So all hell breaks loose, and then Magneto shows up. And he's like, yo.
What?
Not yet.
Doesn't he?
No.
They get in the...
No, the X-Jet
Jean-
shows up.
Jean-
Pick them
that's
up.
right.
Jean and Storm show up and they get... they go away in the
I'm
Blackbird.
I was conflating it with the scene from the first X-Men, I think.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, they take off in the Blackbird. They're chased by a couple jets. We have a whole little scene in the air with them, which again is kind of ridiculous because like they're like, oh, we don't have any weapons on this thing. Which first of all, that's bullshit. That's got to be nonsense. But
I mean, no, it makes total sense because.
Oh, PG-13.
Well, no, but Professor Xavier would not allow for like weapons to be put on this thing.
On his military ship that he sends out his army on.
Yes, because they're all about peace. They're not.
Till they start stabbing people.
Listen, so I'm speaking for Professor X here. He would not condone Wolverine running around stabbing people.
Yeah.
He's like, they're all mutants. They can handle themselves. We're not going to put weapons on this because if somebody comes in, if the government decides, hey, we're doing an inspection or whatever, and they find it, I don't want them to find all these guns on it.
Sure.
It makes sense to me.
No, that's fair. But anyway, but they're like, oh, we do have one weapon. We have Storm, who creates like 50 hurricanes that are nowhere near these jets.
So you got a Sharknado. You got a Sharknado 2. You got a Sharknado back in action. You got a, what was it, Volnado, which is a volcano tornado. You got a poop tornado. You got a 5 Goes West archipelago.
Yeah, this was the beginning of Volnado, which is a tornado that hits a volcano and sucks up all the lava and tosses it about.
That's right.
It also, for the sequel, will pick up a bunch of crabs. So it'll be Crab Volnado.
There you go.
Crabvanado. Anyway.
And I believe Jean Grey had a panda tooth. Which
yes.
gives her the power to summon Godzilla.
Yep.
Didn't use it in this movie, though.
Didn't have to. Well, she does at the end.
She should have.
Well, they allude that she does it. Anyway. Although she gets Martha. Hey, we're getting ahead of ourselves. So, but yeah, Storm's just throwing down these tornadoes. They're not really doing anything. They're surprised when the military starts shooting at them when they said that's what they were going to do. That one threw me off.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
Because they're like, this is your last warning, get down. And they're like,
bluffing.
They say nothing, and then they're like, oh, they're falling back. And aiming at us? What? But yeah, finally Storm's like, oh, I need to aim these things. Starts hitting a bunch of them, but one of the jets takes a shot at them, blows up the back of this thing. Apparently Rogue is Alan Grant and doesn't know how seatbelts work.
Dude, what is I mean, it's a seatbelt.
I don't.
It's got a clip. It's got
a more complicated seatbelt. I'll give her that, but
everyone else figured it out.
Yeah.
Even Nightcrawler.
Even Pyro.
Well, the funny thing is, like, the first and main part of it goes over your shoulders, so you should have some advantage with this right off the bat. Or, I mean, maybe it would just hang you at that point, but still, like, you should stay in the plane.
Like, I need Logan to do this for me. Yeah.
But, yeah, she gets sucked out, Nightcrawler saves her, plane's going down, but Magneto stops it, and he's like, yo, we need to work together.
My favorite thing is that Nightcrawler bamps out of the plane, grabs her in midair, and then teleports back onto the crashing plane.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, all right. So yeah, now Magneto saves her.
Yeah.
And they're kind of trash talking a little bit. They're being a little douchey on this plane.
They are straight up drinking wine and watching 6 Feet Under while making catty comments. like, oh, Rogue, like what you've done with your hair.
She should have just walked over to him and grabbed his face and sucked his life. Sucked his life right out of his body. And then she'd be like, I'm the Magneto now, bitch. Give me this dumb helmet that's apparently Professor X's weakness, his helmets.
Oh, God. I was just thinking her response is, I like your tattoo.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God. Or if he said that to Nightcrawler, that'd be a good comeback.
Oh.
No, I think yours is better.
Anyway,
German.
See what you're doing to me? But yeah, we're teaming up even though he's a jerk. He starts wooing Pyro. It's like, yo, that's neat what you can do. And
You're a god, man.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Have you ever seen
The devil dance in the pale moonlight.
sat on a full-grown man's lap, son?
Yeah, that does. Okay. I couldn't remember if that actually gets paid off, but it sort of does. Anyway,
Is there someone you'd like Mystique to turn into? Anyone? Anyone?
Your parents, perhaps.
so he spills the beans. He tells him his dad is Dracula, the whole thing.
Yeah, it's awful.
Lets him know that Stryker is building a Cerebro. He's, I do like he's, straight up is like, hey, Wolverine, yeah, me and Professor X both know what's up with you. He gave you breadcrumbs, but I know you're an idiot and can't figure it out. You fucking went to that place, stood on top of the base, but didn't see the door in time, so you left. So here's what's up.
Not sugarcoating it.
Yeah, but he's creating Cerebro. That's why he kidnapped Professor X and stole Cerebro parts and whatever. He's gonna kill all the mutants with it. Blah blah. I need the only thing I don't know is where his base is, which I think your buddy here knows. So
We totally skipped over the whole bathroom scene, like his
yeah.
escape.
oh yeah, because whatever. Do you wanna? Rob got to see a fat Ginger's ass.
I mean, I can do that at work almost any day of the week. But more importantly, we got to see Mystique without all the makeup and effects on. That's pretty cool.
She gave the main security guard for Magneto like an injection of iron,
Yeah, so she
like a
goes-
fucking 8 ounces of iron.
Yeah, so I guess she tailed him to a bar or something after
Yeah.
his shift because he's still like in his work gear.
Yeah.
And she comes on to him and buys him a beer and puts two very obvious, like, Alka-Seltzer. They look like Pa's Easter egg pellets in his beer. I don't know how he didn't see them or he just didn't care.
Maybe he was already a few in.
Yeah, so she takes him to the bathroom to,
There's foam on top of the beer.
yeah, there's foam everywhere. So she takes him to the bathroom to glory hole him or whatever. And, injects him with, all this freaking metallic silver paint that I guess doesn't just immediately kill him, which is surprising.
Yeah, that's dubious, but I don't know.
But then
Maybe it would have eventually.
yeah. But then the next day,
There's iron in your blood, so
yeah, Magneto blood bends it out,
yeah.
I guess.
Which is another fairly cool scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is cool.
Yeah, he's
And,
just like, I smell metal in you.
yeah, escapes from prison. So he can smell the faintest trace of metal on this guy's body, but Wolverine with super smelling powers and hearing powers can't smell or hear.
Military
the
base.
freaking all these children crying underground.
Well, children weren't there crying yet.
Alright, whatever. He didn't hear the adamantium
But,
bubbling
yeah,
in its little
The
cauldron
fact he
the whole
couldn't
time.
smell Brian Cox, I do not believe.
Yeah, that's true. He's like, why does it smell like French fries?
I smelled a McRib.
Alright. So,
We've not spoken about what Stryker's been doing to Charles.
Oh yeah. So we find out that
Charles Entertainment Cheese.
he had kidnapped Charles before when they gassed him. He's now taken back to the base where they built the Cerebro, and apparently he had brought his son to the Xavier school before, but since Charles couldn't quote unquote cure him of his mutant power, he ended up taking it back home. He apparently messed with their heads because he has the ability to mess with their heads. I believe he's supposed to be Mastermind, I think is the character, but whatever.
I thought it was Leech or no, is that
No,
a
Leech is in the second one. That's the one that keeps you from having powers.
This is
Or the third one, sorry.
oh right, okay, yeah. Once again, conflating them all together.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess
fine.
they're by and large the same.
Nobody's listening to this. It's fine. So nobody got this far. Come on.
We got past the fart.
Yeah.
Fart break.
We barely made it past the part. Basically he drove him and his wife nuts. His wife ended up killing herself because of it. So he's like, fuck all you guys. I'm using his brain jelly to control other mutants, and somehow I can control him, which I do not understand. I don't know if that was mentioned, but he can control him now. Sure, why not? Okay. So he brings in Jason. Jason starts messing with Xavier.
So what is the deal with this? So Jason was Professor X's former student.
Yes.
Now when Jason is messing with Professor X's brain, he shows up as a little girl.
Well, he's choosing to. He's
To be as like innocent as possible.
Yeah, at first he makes Xavier see himself, back at school standing up, but he's like, oh, I'm standing up. This is obviously a lie. Stop messing with my head. So he's like, oh, I'm going to make this more plausible. So he's like, oh, I'm a little girl. I need help finding my mom. Bring me to Cerebro.
I'll show up with one of Picard's kids from Star Trek Generations.
Yes.
Okay. The Nexus.
Yeah. He should be wearing a Dickensian era dress and, asking for a two-piece for the newspaper or something. I don't know what the fuck happens.
Two-piece for the newspaper. You heard it here first.
Yeah, against 40 gallons of the hogshead or whatever. Whatever.
I gotcha.
Boy.
And so this little kid, a.k.a. Jason's, trying to get Professor X to use Cerebro to kill all the mutants in the world.
He's playing on his sympathy and being like, can you find my mommy? But what he really is going to do is be like, find all the mutants and then think about them hard, and they'll die.
So they're in the they're in this $5 bargain bin version of Cerebro.
Yep.
It's like this Ocean State job lot Cerebro thing going on. That Stryker apparently just built.
Yep.
And I guess it's got panels on the walls in some pattern that specifically.
Yeah, this wasn't super clear.
I don't know.
I think this was to try and make the twists here later more obvious, but it is, it's again, doesn't
my
make a lot of
assumption
sense.
was that the room, the way it's set up, was merely to amplify his powers.
Yeah. I believe that's the general idea, but I guess, it's certain panels in certain places make it focus more on mutants and others more humans.
Make it more dangerous, I don't know.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Either way, now we cut to the woods. I guess just outside Valkyrie Lake.
Yeah, sure. You're talking about when they're camping out?
Yeah, this is when the X-Men are united.
Oh, I kind of covered a lot of this, but I'm guessing you're going back because you really want to talk about that makeout scene.
Well, when Rogue turns into all the different... Or when Mystique turns into all the different people?
Yeah.
No, not really. It just, from here, we kind of transition to the assault on Alkali.
Yeah.
By all the people. Mystique turns into all these different characters, and it's like, hey, Wolverine, why don't you bang me? And Wolverine's like, no, you're gross. You're a mutant. Get away from me.
You're blue.
Yeah, you're blue. That's gross.
I've already seen you naked. Whatever.
Been there. I've already put my claws inside you.
Which is... no, I'm not even...
Mm-hmm.
The scar, I don't get the scar, but...
What don't you get about the scar?
She has the scar. She can't make the scar disappear? It doesn't...
That does seem strange, but maybe...
You turned into Brian Cox from Rebecca Rain Stamos. That's quite the drastic change. I think you can hide a scar.
Yeah.
But anyway...
Maybe she wanted to show it to him.
Maybe that's her one
The
thing of
because it was
herself that
adamantium,
she
maybe?
keeps, or I don't
Bloops
know.
or bleeps.
Yeah.
But anyhow.
Yeah, so we're attacking this thing.
Yeah, we need to get into the base. Wolverine's like, I'm gonna do it, but Magneto's like, I already told you you're stupid.
Yeah,
so
you're
we're
a dumb
sending in
bitch.
Mystique.
That's right.
They send her in as Wolverine. And so Stryker's like, oh, it's Wolverine. I don't know how this goes and whatever. And they bring him right in. They lock him up, his hands or whatever. But then somehow he just knows that's not the case.
Yeah, because Stryker has better senses than Wolverine does.
Sure.
He's like,
That makes total sense.
he's like, I made Wolverine. That ain't no Wolverine.
yeah. And it's not my work. So yeah,
I
Mystique,
seen his dick.
Mystique just starts kicking the shit out of everybody. Again, fairly cool fight scene here. jumps through some doors. She turns into Stryker and goes into the main control room. Is like, yeah, I need help out here, whatever. And fuck it, I'm just gonna punch you in the face. And like gets control of the control room and like, yeah, hey everybody else, come on in.
Yep.
Water's fine.
So something happens.
So everybody starts going in now. They're searching the base. They have to split up to try and find Xavier. I think it's Nightcrawler and Storm find the kids.
Cyclops shows up as being
Oh, yeah,
controlled.
he's mind controlled.
So he's taking on him and Jean Grey or
Yeah, he's
fighting.
fighting Jean Grey, I guess. It's whatever.
Yeah,
It's
you
not-
don't even really get to see his face much.
Yeah, he's just zapping things and she's throwing him around.
It seems again to be primarily just like, hey, here's little hints. Like she's got fire in her eyes. Oh, you see that?
Yeah.
Something's coming.
And at some
Okay.
point, the dam starts to crack.
Yeah, I think it's during their fight because she goes supernova or whatever,
Yeah.
and it like messes everything up.
And then it's Wolverine versus Lady Deathstrike.
It's
and
okay.
It's a fine, whatever.
He gets stabbed a lot.
Again, not a bad little action scene.
Yeah, and he eventually jabs her in the gut with an adamantium.
Gun.
Yeah, it's like the Taco Bell beef gun.
Yep.
And she has about the same reaction I would have when I fill my stomach with Taco Bell.
Starts leaking out of your eyes
Yeah.
and your
Starts
nose.
bleeding.
Yeah, leaks out.
You have
of
to get in the
every-
tub.
Yeah, it leaks out of every pore, and I need to get in water as quickly as possible. Yeah. So now it's kind of down to like getting out of there, I guess.
Also, like I just quick throw in though, that's also kind of fucked up because like I get self-preservation or whatever, but like at this point we see she's just another mind-controlled mutant, so she had no say in all this, and he just killed her.
Who's she? What?
Lady Deathstrike.
Oh yeah.
So it's just like, hey, she might have been a character, she might have had a family, who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
But she's dead now.
Whatever.
Fuck that.
She's at the bottom of a bath and under the middle of a lake.
Yep. Which is even worse because she can't. I guess can she drown? Question mark.
I think she's
Probably.
just. Oh, that's a dark end. If she's just, if she's so full of adamantium she can't move, but she's like
Yeah.
alive.
I'm pretty sure she's dead.
Okay. We'll go with that.
I don't know what the hell the adamantium did to her, but I think you can still drown.
Yeah, and
But
then
I don't know.
So Magneto's like, we gotta get into Cerebro, and he does something. He just doesn't open the door. He like jiggles it a bunch.
I don't know what happened here.
Yeah, I don't know either. But somehow they get in. Somebody opens the door. I don't even remember who. It doesn't matter. And then it's
They get Charles to change focusing from mutants to
yeah.
People,
So
humans.
Magneto just like switches a bunch of crap around, and now it's people.
Yeah.
Human people. And it's dumb, and everybody gets a headache for a while, I guess. And
Did you recognize the noise that they made?
the noise there? No.
It's the sound from them.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. I liked it better in them.
And
But, all right.
But oh yeah, which also I just want to mention, like here was again where we got a lot of these characters because when he was supposed to be targeting mutants, you would see like Hank McCoy because he showed up earlier,
Right.
Like he came back and you see him like freaking out, and that's when he goes all beast mode. Which I don't know if that was supposed to be like that's when he becomes blue and furry, or if his disguise dropped
Did he
or
become
what.
Blue? I didn't even see.
No, not
No,
in
this
this
is
was
what's-
all cut.
this
This
is
is all
what
stuff cut.
could have happened.
But you get to see Angel, freaking out and whatever, Gambit freaking out and like,
Mon Dieu.
yeah. I think it was just supposed to be like seeing a guy at a card table going like, my head hurts. But
And all these cards are exploding.
yes, actually, yeah, because their powers would freak out. So that was,
Okay.
the cards would explode. But whatever.
Everybody at the World Poker Championship died today.
But yeah, I'll get cut.
And then it's Professor Xavier versus this other old guy. So yeah,
Fox?
Storm comes
Jason?
in. Yeah, Storm and Nightcrawler poop into the fake Cerebro, and they're like, "Oh, I'll just make it really cold. That's how we'll solve this. Like slapping this guy, I guess won't solve the problems, so we'll just make it really cool.
Yeah, which,
We need a distraction.
couple problems here.
We can't just push him off the edge.
Yeah, one, I heard this was, well, they kind of can't. We'll get into that. One, I heard they rewrote some of the ending, because in the comic you were talking about, Magneto kind of stops it and saves the day, but they were like, well, it's making, he's still kind of got to be a bad guy, so, yeah. So well, this is a good time to let Storm do something, but it's like,
What?
what
Tornadoes!
did she
Make
do?
more tornadoes!
Yeah, like, you made it really cold, which would probably kill everybody in there. Or if you took it to that level, which you don't, so you took it to the level where everybody just is kind of chilly. So why would that stop him? I don't know. We also have the problem here where I will give them the whole thing of, Nightcrawler can't go to a place he hasn't seen before because he doesn't know the layout. He doesn't want to end up in a wall or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, again, your X-Men work as a team. Jean Grey can go, I'm in Xavier's head. I see the room. Or just, hell, it's Cerebro. I know what Cerebro's supposed to look like. Here, I'm going to put that in your head. You bamf in there. It's fine. But again, we're trying to make them do more, even though they... it's just random. We have to throw in the I trust you, whatever.
Yeah.
But, they could... I mean, if they could see Jason, they could just push him off the edge. But they see him as the little girl. But then they just make it cold, and he just... I guess he's too chilly, so he doesn't want to do it anymore? I don't know. It doesn't really make a lot of sense.
He hates the cold.
Yeah. It makes his nipples really hard. They chafe. So, Jason gets chafed nipples, and they grab... What happens to Jason? I don't even remember.
I think they just leave him?
Well, stuff starts falling, and they just leave him in there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. So they could have just pushed him off, I guess.
Yeah.
So then they grab Xavier and they
I think the big thing just falls on him.
fart on out of there because now the dam is busting and it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
We don't have Doctor Strange to hold the water back, and we don't have Moses and his little stick. So we got to do this the old-fashioned way, I guess. Oh no, we can't take off in the jet because it's...
Well, Magneto went away in the helicopter. Took off in the
Magneto
helicopter.
took the helicopter, and he took Mystique and Pyro with him.
Yeah, Wolverine had a brief face-off with Stryker, and he got tied up to whatever.
Yeah, he's...
But yeah, now we're back. And apparently they're like, okay, the helicopter's supposed to be here. It's not because Magneto left with it. What are we going to do? But I guess Rogue was just joyriding in the X-Jet? Or something?
Well, she came back to save them, I think.
But why did she know? How did she know?
I
Whatever.
Yeah, it's weird. That's another thing with all these characters. It's like her and Iceman were just chilling in the jet the whole time. Like,
No, they
it's
weren't
just really
banging.
weird. Oh, yeah, they're probably banging.
But, well, I mean, it kind of makes sense in the terms of, like, they're
With the
too
kids.
young to be, brought on a mission, but it also is like, then why are they fucking in
Yeah,
this
honestly,
movie?
just forgot that they were
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
because you know who else could have made it cold inside Cerebro?
Iceman.
Iceman. Or you know who could have sucked away that guy's powers?
Oh yeah, Rogue.
So instead, the X-Jet is stuck in ice.
No,
I
they
don't even know. Like, everything...
maybe from the bomb that went off on it or something.
Yeah, like, everything goes wrong. Like, they try and restart it, but it doesn't work right. Because I think Rogue just fucked it up because she doesn't know how to fly.
All right.
And yeah, maybe it's stuck in ice. I don't know. Whatever. But this is where it all really goes wrong because now...
Yeah, Jean Grey's like, I'm gonna stop the water from the dam, and I'm gonna lift the jet. Storm, I know you have powers. Stay inside. I know you can also fly. Stay inside. We don't need you, like, putting wind on this water.
Listen, guys, there's a huge wave of water coming, and we definitely don't have two people that could freeze that water
Right.
on this jet.
Correct.
So I'm going to do it.
Yes.
But I can't do it here on the jet.
Right.
I need to go outside the jet.
Even though all my power is based on my mind and not me physically being involved.
Also, and I'm getting a little confused here, so maybe I'm a little off, but also, we definitely didn't show at any point in any of these movies that we have a compartment where you can go on the roof of the jet to use your abilities, specifically for Storm, that potentially I could use to do the same fucking thing.
No, definitely not. So she stands there like an idiot.
Oh, and just to be clear, I can stop a huge wave, a dam exploding. I can lift a jet to help it get off into safety, but I can't lift my own dumbass above the water level.
No, definitely
Like
not.
10 feet.
Yeah.
That's too much. That's the line. Okay. Yeah. All right. So yeah, she gets watered, and the jet takes off, and Cyclops and Wolverine start crying and making out.
Yep.
And it's just really sad, I guess.
Wolverine's like, it's not your fault. No, don't do that, man. It's not your fault. Don't do it. Sorry.
And so now the movie ends out. We're back at the White House.
Oh, yeah.
President's
That's weird.
about to deliver a speech on like the
Condemning
threat,
mutants?
or I
Yeah.
don't even know because they
Yeah, I
didn't
don't
really
know.
say that much about it. But once again, like Professor X just freaking terrorists his way into the White House, and he's like, "Hey, say mutants are good, or we'll kill you."
And he gives him something of Strikers, but I'm like, the president, like, authorized Stryker to do
right,
this
like you
bullshit.
think you have all the information.
Well,
it's all
He didn't know the extent.
I don't know if it's just all the crap that Mystique printed out. Like,
Yeah.
here's
No, I think
50 pages.
it might be, but I think the idea was more. He knew Stryker was like, we're gonna invade the mansion or whatever, so he gave him permission. But he didn't know he was building Cerebro. He didn't know had his kid tied up in the basement.
Kids under the
Bryan Singer
stairs.
or,
Either one.
so and that's where. So then, yeah, it's like, oh, movie ends. We're panning over the lake, and then Mothra shows up under the water, and I guess it's setting up the third movie.
And that's when it all went downhill.
The end.
Yeah, who knows how that would have been if Singer had continued.
Tony, tell us what Rotten Mutants says about this movie.
So, RottenMutants.com, critics gave this a score of 85%. Audience gave this a score of 85%.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
That's their thoughts and opinions. What about you and yours, Will?
Yeah, I think 85 is pretty spot on for me. I definitely would recommend this movie as someone who was really into the X-Men at that time and then has recently started getting back into X-Men. It's fun to see characters in real life, even though they might not look how you picture them 100%, but it's just a solid pre-MCU movie. I think as we've done Spider-Man 2 and some other things, it's kind of interesting to have to paraphrase or just put things in that pre-MCU era. So I think it's like one of the best pre-MCU superhero movies. I think it holds up pretty well. My only critique would be maybe like 15 or 20 minutes too long. Not necessarily that like movies that are 2 hours and 14 minutes are long, but just the fact that I feel like there's some scenes that went on a bit too long, a few side stories that could have gotten condensed or taken out altogether, because near the end, even though as someone who's like highly recommending this movie, I was like looking at my watch like, okay, let's wrap it up. But yeah, can't criticize it too much more than that. Really enjoyable, and yeah, recommend.
Rob.
Yeah, I'd probably put this around about an 80. I will lightly recommend it. I didn't enjoy it nearly as much as I have in the past. Like, I didn't hate it, but like Will said, it did start to get tedious toward the end, where I'm just like, all right, wrap it up. I've seen enough. Like, the plot seems to go in circles a lot, it feels like. But overall, it wasn't bad. It still holds up as a decent superhero movie. And I'm just hoping that we get some good X-Men in the future.
Somewhere. Someday. Maybe. Yeah. I'm following along with you guys pretty much. Same sort of thing. Like, yeah, 80, 85. 85 I'm fine with saying. Maybe not quite that high, but whatever. Decent score. I would recommend it. It's since got replaced as one of the best comic book movies because we've gotten better, but it's still a good one. It does have those low points like you were talking about, and it's probably weird for me to complain about somebody, going on too long and not using the time wisely, when I'm sure that's how most of the viewers think about everything I'm saying. But yeah, for me, it's not so much it's too long, it's how you're using the time. if they, we kept things going, we would be fine. But it's like, here's some cool stuff, and then just
Well, right, that's exactly.
and
what
then
I
here's
mean.
some cool
It's like-
stuff. So, but I still like the attack of the mansion's cool. Fight with Lady Deathstrike is still pretty cool. I even just the I love it when we have all the guards that are standing outside the fake Cerebro, and Magneto just like pulls the pins out of all their grenades and they just explode and die. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's how this stuff should be. But yeah, it's still a recommend. It's not the greatest, but it's it's certainly watchable
Certainly not the worst superhero movie.
for sure.
The original holds up pretty well too. I watched that last week
Yeah. Okay.
from 2000.
Good enough. But I think that's enough of us to say where we will recommend X2 for this week. What else can we have for the people around?
No, I do think it's Will's turn.
Is it?
Will,
Wow.
and Will, you get the inaugural.
Back to real life.
Yeah, back to the D20 of Fate. My goodness, took it out of retirement. It's been charging up for a year.
Let's touch him with those fart hands.
So
I don't know.
Do us proud there.
I'll fuck
Alright.
this up.
19.
19. Lousy.
All right, that is a good roll at least.
Oh yeah.
But what did we get?
Okay. 19 is 1987's Batteries Not Included.
Nice.
So, you thought we were talking about lemon parties in this episode. You better strap in there. Oh, goodness. Well, that'll be fun. So yeah, join us next episode for Batteries Not Included. In the meantime, I want to thank you so very much for listening. I want to especially thank our patrons. You guys are the best. You help keep us going. For anybody that wants to hear our entire episode archive, you can find that at 4ampodcast.podbean.com. You can email us at the4ampodcast@gmail.com. If you want to buy some merch, you can find that at teespring.com/4ampodcast. I think the link will still go, even though Teespring has changed its name to Spring now.
This spring.
Yeah, I believe so. And of course, if you want to help support us, you can go to Patreon and become a patron. You guys rock at patreon.com/4ampodcast. Anything else, gentlemen?
Nope.
I guess it's kind of somewhat fitting for the movie. Happy Pride Month.
Happy Mutant Eve.
And that too.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.